So, what's up with Celestia and Luna's wavy mane, and why doesn't Twilight have that too? Well, I believe that Twilight Sparkle's Alicorn powers are still developing, and over time she too will have that same sparkly wavy mane. One of the reasons why many people believe that Celestia and Luna are special compared to Cadance and Twilight is that those two have wavy sparkly hair and those two do not. It's also one of the reasons why many believe that the two royal sisters are natural-born Alicorns, that they had to be different because they looked different and lived for more than 1,000 years. Well, what if that 1,000-year age difference is the only true difference between Celestia and Twilight Sparkle? What if Twilight Sparkle just needs an extra 1,000 years before growing bigger and getting that wavy, sparkly hair? In the Season 4 finale, Twilight's Kingdom, we see something like this when the other three Alicorns gave up their powers and transferred them into Twilight. In this scene, for one brief moment, we see the sparkly hair effect. This suggests that the sparkly hair is just a side effect of having so much power. The reason why Twilight can't hold that form for too long is because she doesn't have as much control over it as the two sisters. Perhaps, over time, as her Alicorn powers naturally develop, she'll learn to control and maintain that form. Or perhaps, it's not a matter of control, but a matter of having a strong enough physical body to contain all of that magic. That's why the other three Alicorns are so much larger than every pony else. They needed to grow and develop larger, stronger bodies that can handle their Alicorn magic. Cadance was much smaller, more normal-sized if you will, back when she was Twilight's full sitter. Although, it could be that she's just naturally that tall. We have, after all, seen regular mares that tall before. On the other hand, Cadance back then appears to be around the same size as Twilight after her ascension. Now, she's about the same size as Luna. There was also at least one instance in which Cadance had the wavy, sparkly hair. Back in the Season 2 finale, when she and Shining Armor were just about to defeat Chrysalis, you can see that she had it for a brief moment. In that case, why doesn't she have the wavy hair all the time? It could just be a simple case of not having as much time as the sisters to cultivate her Alicorn powers. Still, this does prove the possibility of Twilight one day growing into a similarly larger body and that her Alicornness was still developing. A better case that may support the theory that Twilight's powers are still developing would be Princess Luna. Remember way back in Season 1 right after Nightmare Moon was defeated? Luna's appearance back then did not have the wavy sparkly hair. On her first reappearance, however, she regained her former appearance. This is to suggest that after her defeat as Nightmare Moon, she was exhausted of her magic to the point that she reverted back to her natural form.
Princess Luna. It has been 1,000 years since I have seen you like this.
She only needed a relatively short length of time, however, to regain her powers and change back into the form we all know and love. So at the very least, we know that Luna has two forms, not counting Nightmare Moon. She has one form with wavy hair and one form that does not. We know that this is more than just a simple transformation, however, due to the Season 4 finale when Luna gave up her powers, yet still remained in her stronger form. Her body remained the same because it had already changed by her own Alicorn magic. In other words, it takes more than the simple removal of magic to revert an Alicorn into their weaker form. Well then, why did Luna's body change back in Season 1 but not in Season 4? In the Season 4 premiere, we see what Luna looked like before becoming Nightmare Moon, so we know she didn't look like that before getting banished to the moon. It could be argued that the elements of harmony changed her back, but then she returned in Season 2 with her stronger form. So maybe what happened with the elements of harmony is the exact opposite of what happened in Twilight's Kingdom. Instead of removing Luna's magic, the elements forced her body to regress back into a form that could not bring out the full potential of her magic. The magic that remained, in turn, caused Luna to gradually grow back into her stronger form. There's also some evidence to suggest that this isn't the first time Luna had this weaker form. Back in Season 1, in the very beginning of the pilot episode, we see an illustration of what the two sisters may have looked like 1,000 years ago. This led to many fanwork creators to believe that Celestia once had pink hair. This was proven false in the Season 4 premiere when we see a flashback of the two sisters not only when Nightmare Moon appeared, but also during Discord's reign. Actually, Nightmare Moon looked about right. The hair's a little more purplish, but other than that, it's a pretty accurate depiction. Let's take another look at Princess Luna's depiction. The hair colorings... it's a lot closer to her weaker form's hair color, don't you think? The coat color is also kinda similar-ish, I guess? Now, let's take a look at the equestrian flag. Luna, as depicted here, again has purple hair and a slightly darker shade of a coat color. Not only that, but Celestia on the flag appears to be a more accurate portrayal of what she currently looks like. She doesn't have pink hair, so what's up with the pink hair in the pilot then? Could it be possible that the depiction of the two sisters here was actually based off of what they used to look like back then? Whoever illustrated this, in-universe, may have mistakenly used their former appearance. What supports this theory is that this isn't the only time the two sisters have been depicted this way. In the Season 4 finale, when they were explaining T-Rex's backstory, we see pink-haired Celestia and light blue-haired Luna again. Could it be possible that this is what they truly looked like back then during this very incident? Remember, this isn't just some random book taken out of a local library. Princess Celestia herself was using this book when she explained T-Rex's incarceration. This suggests that the illustrations aren't as inaccurate as they may first appear to be. So if Celestia used to have pink hair back then, just like how Luna's hair used to be a lighter shade, then perhaps both princesses used to be the same size as Twilight back then and didn't have the wavy sparkly hair. So we've seen two cases in which Twilight and Cadance can have wavy sparkly hair under the right circumstances when they're overflowing with an abundant amount of magic. Cadance's own growth proves the possibility of Twilight one day growing to be the same size as Cadance and Luna. This also suggests that her own Alicorn powers are still developing. Luna's two forms and their resemblance to the book's illustration and flag shows us that she and Celestia may have once had weaker forms. It's possible that they grew out of those weaker forms and ended up with the sparkly hair effect. So, what do you think? Could Twilight still be growing as an Alicorn? Is it only a matter of time before both she and Cadance ends up with wavy, sparkly hair? Are these illustrations actually depictions of Celestia and Luna's weakened forms? Leave your comments below and let me know. Thanks for watching and don't forget to hit that subscribe button while you're at it. Not only that, but Celestia on the flag appears to be a more accurate portrayal of what Not only that, but Celestia on the flag appears to be a more accurate portrayal of what she currently looks like.